So New South Wales recorded 8 new locally acquired cases of COVID in the 24 hours to 8 p.m. last night. 5 of these cases are linked to the Berala cluster, which now numbers 13, and 2 of today's cases are previously reported cases linked to the AVALON cluster, which now numbers 148. And 1 case is a contact of a previously reported case from Wollongong. 5 of today's locally acquired cases are from Western and Southwestern Sydney and are linked to the Berala cluster. And there are now 13 cases in the Berala cluster. So in response to the Berala cluster, New South Wales Health has revised our advice for the Berala venue of concern, the BWS at Woodburn Road. So anyone, this is critical information because we know that there have been transmission events at this venue, and it is important that we know that also those transmission events occurred through what appear to be very brief exposures at that venue. So this advice is for people who attended during these times, irrespective if they think it was just a fleeting visit to this premises. We want to act in a very precautionary way, and we are asking for your assistance. So anyone who attended the BWS Berala on Woodburn Road between Tuesday the 22nd of December and Thursday the 31st of December for any amount of time during the times I'm going to read out is considered a close contact, must get tested immediately, self-isolate, remain in isolation for 14 days since you were last there, regardless if you receive a negative test. The times are Tuesday the 22nd of December from 12:41 to 9:15 p.m, Wednesday the 23rd of December from 1:40 to 9:15 p.m, Thursday the 22nd of December from 12:40 to 9:17 p.m, Saturday the 26th of December from 9:55 a.m. to 7:15 p.m, Sunday the 27th of December from 12:39 p.m. to 8:15 p.m, Monday the 28th of December from 9:30 a.m. to 7:15 p.m, Tuesday the 29th of December from 1:41 p.m. to 9:15 p.m, and Wednesday the 30th December from 12:45 to 9:15 p.m, and Thursday the 31st of December from 8:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. We have identified more than 2,000 people have been contacted and told to get tested and isolate in relation to the BWS store, and New South Wales is also reviewing the CCTV footage in an effort to understand how the transmission events occurred. We are also I'd like to acknowledge the cooperation of the BWS in assisting us with contacting people who either used rewards cards or other means of paying on that day so that we can reach out to you. But please double check. I mean, I know it was a busy period, but we are very concerned that transmission has occurred at this site, and it is important because the duration of time means that someone who has previously been there could have actually transmitted it to another group of people. So again, that's our message, is if you live in that broad area around Berala, that whole Cumberland local government area, we're asking you to please have a low threshold for coming forward and getting tested. So the most minimal of COVID symptoms, please come forward and get a test. We will be attempting to contact you, but our records might be incomplete in terms of who was at that premise. So please reach out to your friends and family who you know use that bottle shop and check with them, and the updated details will be on the New South Wales Government website. In new information that has just emerged prior to this press conference, the genomic sequencing results have come back. And what they show is that the Berala cluster is actually the same genomic sequences as linked to our patient transport driver, not the AVALON. So just to recap, we have been dealing with 2 different strains that have been causing clusters. We had a person who had returned, a family group who had returned from overseas and were transported to a health facility. Unfortunately, one of the patient transport workers acquired infection, passed it on to a colleague. That colleague had been at the Berala BWS for a very fleeting amount of time, but what we now know is that transmission occurred. So it is critical that, because we know these transmission events have happened through very minimal exposure, we are asking members of the community who did purchase alcohol or enter that premises for that period to be very vigilant and take the public health action of isolating for 14 days if you were there at those times. This assists us greatly because it means that we have a clear line of the transmission, and it really does mean that we have less missing links. We are still concerned about a case that occurred yesterday where we still haven't managed to find links in terms of the AVALON cluster, and there are still, despite intensive investigations, inability to link the Wollongong. While we know genomically the Wollongong, Croydon and the AVALON clusters are linked genomically, we still haven't found that missing link there. So our investigations continue, and thank you very much for your cooperation.